need my MC in my bed. You'll need to refresh. You'll need to refresh. I'll have to. It's probably done because it is going live. Yeah, take a picture of it. Yeah, no, it's all right. There you go. That's all right. Try that. It is on delay. I don't know. I'll have to read it. But I was thinking about it, so I should send it all off tomorrow. Sorry? Well, it depends with the next one if we want to go for the bigger thing. Like the first one, we really do the next one. The first one, it's just kind of that one as well, but it was actually quite not like it does pick up the institution. Oh, exactly. I think it's one of the first. Yeah, and then put it up on the screen. Yes. So over to you. Ready to go? Rock and roll. Just talk with yourselves.
Why is there right things in such small fonts?
All right, here we go. Kaya, good evening everyone, and welcome to the Town of Victoria Park Citizenship Ceremony. My name is Daniel Minson, and I'm a proud councillor here at the Town of Victoria Park. This evening I have the privilege of being your MC as we celebrate one of the most important and significant milestones of your lives, becoming an Australian citizen. On behalf of the town, I warmly welcome you all to the Makaroo Function Room for this special occasion. We begin tonight's ceremony by acknowledging the Whadjuk Noongar people. It's my pleasure to invite Matthew Maguire to deliver the welcome to country. Please join me in welcoming Matthew.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you to the Town of Vic Park for the constant and ongoing support for the Aboriginal people, Wajak people of this immediate area that we all live on and call home nowadays, and to Mayor Vernon as well. Yarn Banunok, Yarn Banunok, Yak, Nunaga, Maman, Purla, did I did a Europe, did a Korea, did a one Jununok, Nala Buja, Nalaka Murpa, Buja, Waja Buja. I did a Jada Wanging, a Ja Mur, did a Buja. Great ladies and gentlemen and children that smile and understand here on behalf of my mom and dad, my grandmothers and grandfathers, and welcome you to the land of the Wajak people. I welcome you in the first language of the first people that walk this land. In a time of the year we call Bunuru, which is one of the 6 seasons of the Nyunga calendar. I don't want to mom and dad, we're in the college one. Not like a Juro, but it's in the I ask my old people's spirits to be part of this evening with us, so we have a wonderful time here together, becoming Australian citizens, but more importantly, when you leave, that you have safe journeys home to your own homes and families, wherever they may be here in the town of Vic Park. Nala Morba, Nala Ganita, Kora, Kora, Nala Ganita, ye, mine. Gurun, Nalaga Gurunga, Gurunga, Niniva. Nalaga Gurunga, Nuraga Gurunga, Balabaja, Niniva, Ninja, Ora, Bujala. This is a land that my family has occupied for thousands and thousands of years. It is a land that we occupy today, it is a land that we will occupy for thousands of years to come. Nalaga Gurunga, our children and our children's children. Nalaga Gurunga, Nalaga Gurunga. Your children and our children living together as one on this beautiful land that God has blessed us with. The way I like to explain my family's belonging to this country is out of Kayap, the water. From the Durban Yurigan, the Jalgaru, the Swan on the Canning River, carrying our family's blood back into this land, the Bujawa, Nalagangank, this land we call our mother, our provider. Is how I like to explain my family's belonging to this country. It is always an honour to come and be part of citizenship ceremonies here, especially at the town of Vic Park. And how intimate and everything it is all, and welcoming you here this evening. I would like to leave you with a song. Pardon me, I grew up about halfway to Kalgoorlie in a little town called Kellerberrin. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. And in 1979 we moved to Perth for educational reasons. My mother and father said to us, never forget where you come from. Never forget your language, your songs, your dance, your ceremonies. You need to take them with you and remember them, because if you forget where you come from, how you know where you're going? Is what my mother and father had instilled in me and my siblings. So we carry that and we share with our children and we share with anyone who wants to sit and listen, and not only share but take in what others bring to the table as well in regards to culture. So, but this song I want to share with you is a song that comes out of a place we call Kakara, which is King's Park, and it sings of the Yarrow, the spider. But I sing of the spider's web because I think it's quite significant, as in with us people. As we know, a spider's web is so beautifully and intricately connected to itself in many places, and also connected to country. Now, when you touch it, it has a reverberation around it. It's like us as people, we are all connected in ways, shapes and forms that we don't even know sometimes. And when we do things in life and create reactions like in that web, we need to make sure they're positive ones, especially when it comes to looking after country, our water, the air, the animals, and each other. We need to make sure that what we do, when it's received down the track, is a positive thing, and it is received and taken on and passed on in a positive manner. It's probably going to be our kids who are going to be receiving it. So think about what we do in life. So this one, ngala gani jine kine yera, nyongi nyongi nijira bujowa, nyonga bujowa nijira kari bawa. when we sing and dance in our country out here in the southwest in Yunga country, our karis, our boomerangs are our instruments for songs, dances and ceremonies. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, children, and again to the town of Vic Park. It is always an honour, like I said earlier, to come and be part of these ceremonies with you and to welcome you to becoming Australian citizens. I won't be hanging around for the celebration, so I hope you have a wonderful time here tonight. Like I said earlier, have safe journeys home to your own homes and families later on. But in our language, we don't really have a word for goodbye because we always sort of look forward to seeing one another again. So what we'd like to say is, next time we see one another, we'll talk again then. So take care and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew, for that warm welcome to country. Some good wisdom in there that I think we can all reflect on after we leave here tonight. So just pass over to the screen and we're playing a video, so please turn your attention.
Oops. As you were. Check me pardon. We may have to skip it, folks. There is an issue with it. My apologies. This may have something to do with the fact that we're the live stream. Yeah. Okay, let's try this again. It is playing, but I think the bandwidth's taken up with the. Yeah. There we go.
We are honoured to be here on Whadjuk Noongar country, on the banks of the.
Sorry.
We are honoured to be here on Whadjuk Noongar country, on the banks of the Swan River. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and respect past, present and emerging leaders, their continuing cultural heritage, beliefs and relationship with the land, which continues to be important today. We thank them for the contribution made to life in the town of Victoria Park and to this region. People are at the heart of Victoria Park, and we are a town shaped by their stories. The first stories are Noongar, and these are interwoven with the stories of people who now live, work or visit the town of Victoria Park. From Burswood to Bentley, you can feel the energy of lively streets, cosy up with great coffee, be captivated by entertainment, day or night. You know the town of Victoria Park for its restaurants, river views, amazing parks and great sporting venues. But it is home because of its big heart and inclusive spirit. And it's why many people like you choose to call our town home. A town with heritage and beautiful open spaces, blended with contemporary businesses and unique stores. A town that has a special sense of community, diverse, friendly, creative, full of opportunity and places that make it easy to connect. A town that puts people first. A town that, for whatever reason, we can be proud to call our own and welcome future generations into. This is your town. This is our town. You are all part of our story. We thank you for becoming part of our community. Welcome to Victoria Park.
So tonight, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you, our conferees, your families and friends, and everyone who has come together to celebrate this milestone. We're going to begin tonight's formal proceedings with a message from the Minister of Citizenship, Tony Burke. So I again invite you to turn to the screen for the message from the Minister.
Tony's being hard to get on with.
Hi, it's Tony Burke, Australia's Minister for Citizenship. In a few moments' time, Australia becomes an even better nation. When you make the Citizenship Pledge, you take on the privileges and responsibilities of Australian citizenship. From that moment, your journey and heritage will become part of our shared Australian story. We're privileged to share this beautiful country with First Nations Australians, the custodians of the world's oldest continuing culture. Appreciating and understanding this truth is a vital part of what it means to be Australian. Australia welcomes you as a full member of one of the most diverse nations on earth, where citizenship is a bond which unites us all. Australia welcomes you and everything you bring to Australia. Today, your new nation says to you, welcome home.
So that's an inspiring message to mark this in.
Hi, it's Tony Burke, Australia's
Sorry.
Try it again.
Sorry, hang on. Carry on.
Thank you. So I'll just take a moment, I guess, just to mention that, don't worry about the children and the babies if they're making noise. This is very, very family welcoming event. The community is all of us. So I have an 18-month-old, and so I very much understand. So yeah, don't feel awkward or anything, and you don't need to say.
Hi, it's Tony.
Sorry.
Tony won't stay away. He's trying to hog the limelight. So I'd like to invite our presiding member for the evening of the citizenship ceremony, Mayor Karen Bennett, to extend her personal welcome to our conferees. Please join me in welcoming.
Good evening, everyone. A very special welcome to all of you, but particularly to our very important guests, the soon-to-be new Australian citizens. There are 25 of you here tonight from 13 different countries, and we're delighted to have the opportunity to share your special moment with you. The video that you just saw about the town of Victoria Park was one of the first things that I did in 2020 after I'd become mayor in 2019, associated with our citizenship ceremonies. And I still love watching the video and listening to the story. And for those of you who watched the particular individuals who kept appearing in it, they actually were new citizens. So we put a call out to new citizens who would like to participate in the video, and those were the people who took us up on that opportunity. So perhaps it's time for us to start looking at making a new video and offer some other new citizens in our community the chance to star in one of these videos. But it was wonderful to meet each and every one of them and to learn their stories. And tonight you do hear words like stories and journey and courage all spoken of, because that's actually what this is. It's a journey, it's a story. Not all the chapters are written, not all of the roads and paths have been taken as yet. And for some of you, you will go on to places other than the town of Victoria Park to make your home on a permanent basis. I'm selfish, I hope you'll stay, just as I plan to. I think Victoria Park is a wonderful part of Australia, But once you are Australian citizens, obviously the whole country is your oyster for where you might choose to eventually land and remain if it's not going to be here in Victoria Park. But I think what is important is there's only one person in this room who's not an immigrant to this country, and that's Matthew Maguire, the man who gave us the welcome to country. He and his family have been here continuously for over 60,000 years, but every single one of the rest of us has a story that brought us here. Now, I was born in Australia, but I didn't have to do anything for my citizenship. My parents had emigrated to this country, and ironically, they chose to come in a program that saw them sail from the United Kingdom to Australia in a 4-week journey where my mother was 6.5 months pregnant. And I was born some 6 weeks after they arrived. And they left behind a really large family for both of them. They'd sold up a business that they ran together, had a really long and well-established network of family and friends. They were in their 30s. And when they found themselves pregnant, somewhat unexpectedly, they decided that the United Kingdom was not the place for them to raise their family. They wanted to raise a family in a place that was full of opportunities, more than the ones they felt they could give their new child in the United Kingdom. So they made a really brave decision to make a courageous trip to the other side of the world, a place where they actually didn't know a soul. And that is a journey, whether it's by land or sea or air, that each of our new citizens has made at some point in the past. Now, I know that for many of you, you will have been living in our community or at least in Australia for some time. It's not as though you get to come to Australia and 1 week later you put in a request for citizenship and the Australian government says, sure, here we go, stamp, it's done. Citizenship today actually takes quite some time. And for some of you, the journey will have been longer than others. And for some of you, it might have been a more difficult journey than others. For those of you who came here because you'd visited previously on a holiday and thought that's a place I want to live, for those of you who may have come here for work purposes and decided there's an opportunity to stay, some of you might have fallen in love and followed love here. But for others, they may have came here because the country of their birth was a place that did not welcome them or did not offer them the opportunities they wanted. Or it might have been a place that persecuted them for the things they believed in. And they were looking for a place where that was not going to be their future. And Australia happened to be that place. So everybody's citizenship journey is different, but it is, in my view, shaped and indeed joined by one common theme, that courage and that bravery. Because it takes a lot to leave the country of your birth, where you know the language, you know the culture, you know the traditions, you have networks, you have extended family, and to come to another place, even if you're coming here because you do actually have family or friends who already live here, it's still going to be a challenge. You're still going to find things that are different. You're probably going to wonder why lots of Australians like Vegemite, for example. I was born here, I still wonder why Australians like Vegemite, frankly. And once upon a time, indeed, at the time I became mayor here, we used to give jars of Vegemite at citizenship ceremonies to new citizens. I thought that was a mild form of torture, and I decided we shouldn't continue with that tradition, so we don't. So you're lucky, you won't be walking away with a jar of Vegemite. But for those, for example, of you who come from some countries with fine sporting traditions, we will forgive you if you want to still continue to support the Indian or the Pakistani or the West Indian cricket team and not the Australian one. But I do think you'll find the Australian one does pretty well on the world stage, as indeed do most of our sporting clubs and associations. But one of the points that Matthew made in his speech to you in his welcome was about not forgetting about where you do come from and what rich, diverse tapestry of beliefs and traditions you have that you bring with you to share with all of us. And Victoria Park is a melting spot for a lot of different cultures and religions and beliefs, and those things make our community stronger. They make us better, because if we can think outside our own skin and our own boxes and understand that there is a wide world out there that we can enjoy dance, music, traditions, food from other places, I think that makes life a lot more wonderful when there is variety. And so Australia has been welcoming of immigrants to this country for a very long time. Indeed, back into the 1700s, when it is said that white settlers first came here. But irrespective of that, there are documentary evidence of other people from other countries who came here over many years to different parts of the country. But where we are now, we're a nation that is built on a great tradition of First Nations culture, enhanced by many people who've come here from all the countries of the world, who've brought with them their skills and their talents and their beliefs and their passions, and they've shared them with Australia, whether it's to go to far places and dig for gold, or whether it's to set up a great restaurant in an inner city urban area. And from there to share what has been the culture of languages and countries from around the world. So we're really lucky that when we have our citizenship ceremonies, we know that we are a community that welcomes people from all nations. And I will say this at the moment, and in recent times, I don't think anyone in this room would be immune to the fact that there's been a lot of narrative in the political sphere, but also socially. We see it in our neighbourhoods, we see it online in social media, that has tended to demonise immigrants, migration, immigration levels and how the government set those things. But I do say that we all now need to continue to be brave, not just the journey to come here, but the journey to stay and to actually make sure that Australia remains a great multicultural society, one that respects and continues to value the great contribution that immigrants have made over hundreds of years. And so it can be difficult to do that sometimes when you see words of hatred spread, when you see acts of violence perpetrated. And I want to say that Victoria Park is a place that welcomes people of all nations. We are, as our vision says, a dynamic place for everyone, and we really mean that. And so each and every one of you who is becoming an Australian citizen tonight, you add to that rich tapestry. Each and every one of your friends and family that are here who may already be citizens have also contributed to that, just as I do in my own way. I'm pretty sure when my parents emigrated here and had me some 6 weeks later, they never imagined that 50 odd years later, their daughter would be the mayor of a local town like Victoria Park. And I like to think if they were still alive, they'd be very proud of that fact. But the fact is they came here not knowing anyone, but they fell in love with the place as soon as they did. In fact, I think in their first holiday when I was only about 7 or 8 months old, they went to a country town, which in those days really didn't have an awful lot that was open beyond Monday to Friday, a place called Bustleton that some of you may have visited, and these days quite a thriving little spot to visit. And my dad was so entranced he wanted to buy a block of land. And in those days you could actually buy 10 acres of land for $1,000. And my dad was convinced that this was the thing to do. My mum wore the pants of the family, and she was like, no, we've just bought a house, we have to pay off the mortgage, can't be doing these things, we don't know if we're going to stay in this country. And so they didn't. They actually made that decision many years later, and they bought their block of land. It wasn't 10 acres and it didn't cost $1,000. It cost a considerably greater amount than that. But my dad knew from the get-go that this would be the place to be. My mum spent probably the first 4 years quite homesick because she was the eldest of 11 children from a small country town in Ireland. And so she found Australia to be bigger, more industrialised than where she'd grown up, and it was harder to reach out and make friends. So she tended to reach out and make friends with other Irish people, English, Scottish, those who came from places that were familiar to her. But over the years, the place where we grew up was very multicultural, and families continued to move in, and we continue to see that melting pot grow and grow. So today, I say to each and every one of you, please enjoy this moment, just as my parents did when they finally became citizens some 30 odd years after they actually emigrated to this country. They finally decided it might be worthwhile becoming citizens. But I say to you, share and enjoy the moment. It will be unbelievably brief, the moment that you step forward in front of all of us and say your citizenship pledge. It will be over before you know it. But it is a really significant moment in your life. It's a point where your journey takes a different path. And it's about the chapters that are not yet written, which will be the most exciting. So, without further ado, I have a official, shall we say, task that I must perform as a person who's authorised to preside at citizenship ceremonies, and that is to read to you the legal requirements for citizenship ceremonies, which are contained in the preamble from Schedule 1 of the Australian Citizenship Regulations. And for everyone becoming Australian citizen tonight, you will know these words very well before the end of the ceremony. The preamble reads this: Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia. And Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons on whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, by sharing their democratic beliefs, by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. Today, in a few short moments, 25 of you will join the more than 7 million people who have become citizens since these citizenship ceremonies began in 1949. It's a great moment. I'm going to say a preliminary congratulations in advance, but I'll be back to formally congratulate you all very shortly. So thank you, and thank you again for the opportunity to celebrate tonight with you. Now I'm going to hand back to our MC, Councillor Minson. Thank you.
So we now come to the highlight of tonight's ceremony, the conferring of Australian citizenship. So I'm just going to explain how the ceremony will proceed. So when your name is called, please make your way to the stage, which is this area here. You'll line up across the front, and if you wish, you may bring a holy book with you. So the first name I read will stand on the far side of myself and actually coming closer to me. And as a special keepsake, we will be gifting you a small gift from the town. It's a message stick, so please take that with you. Those taking the oath first will be called, so those people taking the oath will be called up first, followed by those making the affirmation. So I'll begin by reading out the first group, so please proceed up. So the first group taking the oath is Suman Vista, Nabina Powdell, Solomon Mukamba, Jacqueline Mukumba, Nicholas Lozano Cassianis. My might not have been as clear. Yeah, so that's fine. We can work. All right, thank you. That's everyone. That's everyone for the first group.
All right, so this is the process that we'll follow for each of the groups. For anybody who's a little bit shy and doesn't like to be in the spotlight, we apologise in advance. We like to embarrass you by having you come up the front so everyone can see you. But it's actually also for another good reason. And that is, as the presiding member for this ceremony, I actually must ensure that those taking the affirmation, or what we call the Citizenship Pledge, oath or affirmation, are actually saying the words. So the best way for me to be able to do that is to have everybody come up front so I can actually watch. But the good news for you is that I'm going to read out the Citizenship Pledge and you're going to repeat it after me. All right? So that's okay, all good for everyone? What I am going to do is I'm going to come to you with the microphone. You are welcome to say your first name or your full name, and that will be the lead-in to you saying the Citizenship Pledge. All right? So come to you with the microphone again, as I say whether, whichever you prefer, your first name or your full name. And we might give this little guy a miss. Do you think maybe with the microphone? Just this time. All right. Okay. So say your name.
My name is Suman Vista.
Nabina Powdell.
Solomon Mukumba.
Jacqueline Mukumba.
Nicholas Lozano.
From this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people. whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. A huge round of applause for our first interview champion.
Another round of applause, everyone.
With the opportunity to take some photos afterwards. So
Yes, that's right. We do have gifts for you, so if you just head this way and please take your gift. And for those who are coming up with children, we have special gifts for children too.
So moving on to the next group now, also taking the oath, we have Priyanka Nuwa, Vinicius Carrera de Souza, Ashmita Sunawa, and Stephanie Gold.
All right, so everyone saw how it worked last time. And so you guys, you can pretty much all do it on your own, no help from me. I'm seeing a really great enthusiastic nod down the end and absolute crickets from everybody else. So I'm thinking that probably means that I need to continue to assist, but that's okay because that is actually part of my role. So I do want to also say congratulations to everyone who did really well on the applause, because we want each group to get a rousing level of applause. So for the Citizenship Pledge, I'll come to you with the microphone. You can say your full name or your first name, and then you'll repeat the Citizenship Pledge after me, except perhaps for you, the gorgeous one. All right, your name?
Vinicius Pereira de Souza.
Shmita Sonora.
Stephanie Gold.
From this time forward under God, I pledge my allegiance to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. A big round of applause for our next group. Just like to come this side. Yep. We have a small gift for you.
So we move on to the third group who are taking the pledge. We have Chimin Do, Lei Kwang Vido, Chi Chuang Zhang Wei, Chi Tunda, Debjot Duta, Nabamita Nandi, the first group taking the pledge.
All right, can we get everyone to move a little bit this way and take a little step forward? Don't be shy. That's right, we want to see everyone. Now, I sometimes ask this of citizenship ceremonies, and I'm often hoping for a positive response. Does anyone think they could sing the Citizenship Pledge? I'm thinking that my questions are not really landing here. I'm not really getting like a really enthusiastic response for any of them. I'm not sure that we really could sing the Citizenship Pledge. I've been told it does actually go with a tune, but yeah, I'm thinking we will stick to the traditional. Would that be all right? All right. So I'll come to you with the microphone, you'll say your name, and then we'll do the Citizenship Pledge. So this group is taking the affirmation. So your name?
Jimmy.
Fido.
Giang Lý.
Tôi với anh đều từ từ.
From this time forward, need to repeat after me. From this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our Constitution of Australian citizens. Well done. One more round of applause.
So I'll welcome up the next group now. Thank you. So we have Harking Jeff, Ali Amani, Jaden Helmbright, Wai Shuen Huang, and Alicia Lavery.
All right, an easy moment. I'm sure you've all got the Citizenship Pledge already running in your head, already know it by heart. So I'll come to you and you'll say your name, whichever version you're comfortable with, first or full name, and then you'll repeat the Citizenship Pledge after me. All right? Your name?
Hakim Chu. Ali. Jaden.
Huashing Hong.
Alicia Lavery.
From this time forward,
This time forward,
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people,
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people,
whose democratic beliefs I share,
whose democratic beliefs I share,
whose rights and liberties I respect,
whose rights and liberties I respect,
and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
whose laws I will uphold and obey.
Congratulations, a new group is started. One final round of applause.
Okay, so the final group, we have Chien Lu, Yen Nok Win, Zane Rahui, Carrie Ann Alexander, and Brian Maloney.
I'm sure everyone who's just come up here now realises what I said before. It's a really brief moment. And so do enjoy the moment because, as I say, it is a really significant moment in your lives. So when I come to you with the microphone, you'll say your name and then you'll repeat the Citizenship Pledge after me. So,
Chien Lu,
Yen Nok Win,
Zane Rahui,
Carrie Alexander.
Brian Maloney.
From this time forward,
From this time forward,
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people,
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people,
whose democratic beliefs I share,
whose democratic beliefs I share,
whose rights and liberties I respect,
whose rights and liberties I respect,
and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
It's a congratulations moment. You're a fine group of citizens today.
One final round of applause. Oh, I know, that's exactly right.
Okay, so that's the hard bit over. Congratulations to all of you on becoming Australian citizens. So to celebrate this incredible milestone, we'd like to share a special performance of the song I Am Australian, performed by local school choirs right here in the town of Victoria Park. So please turn your attention to the screen once more.
Fingers crossed this time.
I came from the treetop, from the dusty rest of plains. I am the ancient heart, the keeper of the night. I stood on the rocky shore, I watched the oceans come. For 60,000 years I've been the first Australian. I came upon the prison ship, bound down by iron chains. My
pretty special video. Always that'll give me goosebumps every time I watch it. I've said it quite a few times now, so quite special. So tonight is about celebrating your journey and welcoming you as full members of the Australian community. To reflect on this privilege, I'm delighted to invite Leanne to share her congratulations.
Well, a really warm and hearty congratulations to every single one of our brand new Australian citizens. This is a night for congratulations, so let's whoop it up with yet another round of applause. We're only going to do this once, so we may as well make the most of it. Look, today is that special part of your journey. And by becoming Australian citizens, you actually are officially joining what I think is the most amazing country in the world. And I've been fortunate to travel to many different places, but every time I come home, I take a bit of a drive around to some of my favourite places, and I'm reminded of why I think this is a wonderful place to be. The natural environment, the amazing weather, but the great people that live here all combine together to make it a really special place. And I know that there are lots of rights and privileges that come along with citizenship. It does mean standing up for our country. It does mean standing up for one another. Mateship is a long tradition in Australia's history. But even more than that, today is that beginning of a new chapter in your lives, your story, something that is yet to be written. And as you do continue your life in Victoria Park, I do encourage you to be as involved as you possibly can be with this great community that we live in. There are many opportunities for you to connect, for you to contribute, and for you to continue to grow. And when you do, you'll not only be enriching your own experience, but you'll be helping make this community a lot stronger. So I want to thank you for the courage, the bravery, and the enthusiasm that you've shown in making Australia your home. We're very happy to have you here, and we look forward to seeing you out and about. I do want to say a special thank you to people who are both in this room and not in this room, and they are the families, the loved ones, the friends of each of our new citizens, because these are people who've been with you on your journey to citizenship. And some of them aren't able to be in this room. Some of them are in other countries who've been wishing you well. Some of them are perhaps just in a few suburbs away, but were not able to come along tonight. But they are the people who've listened to you as you outlined what it took for you to become an Australian citizen. Maybe they're the people who gave you a friendly word and said, chin up, I know it's been a while you've been waiting, but it's going to happen. They've given you words of encouragement along the way. And so we owe a debt of gratitude to those people. So you know who they are in your lives. So make sure you say thank you to them at some stage today if you get the opportunity, because I'm sure they'll be grateful just as they will be excited for you on this special occasion. So I do also want to say to you that that issue about rights and responsibilities that come with citizenship mean that in Australia, you get the opportunity to vote for those who will govern you, both at federal, state and local government level. So that includes here in the town of Victoria Park. Now, this year is not an election year, that will be next year, 2027. For those of you who've only just become citizens, you escaped what was 2025, when there was a trifecta of Commonwealth, state and local government elections all happening in the one year. It was a busy year to be voting if you were a citizen. So for all of those of you who've become a citizen now, you'll probably find your first opportunities for voting in federal, state or local government elections will be beginning from 2027 onwards. So it is an important right and an obligation of new citizens to actually have a say, to meaningfully engage with the decision makers, the people who try their best every day to make this country a better place. And you have that great freedom to decide who it is that you will vote for. So whilst voting is compulsory for Commonwealth and state government level, but not at the moment for local government, it is something that I do encourage you to look into and consider when you'll get that great opportunity to cast your vote and have your say on shaping the future of the country that you've chosen to become citizens in. So I do want to say, again, as I began this, by saying to our very important guests who are now all brand new Aussies, along with all the rest of us in the room who have been Aussies for a little bit longer, welcome to the club. This is a great day. I hope you're going to have some opportunity to celebrate with your friends and family either tonight or in the coming days. But we're delighted that you've been able to come along tonight. and we look forward to seeing you out and about around in our community. Can I also just ask you, please put your hands together by way of a show of thanks to our MC tonight, Councillor Nixon and Town Victoria Park staff for doing tonight. Thank you. So thanks very much, everyone, and Councillor Nixon's going to come back because we do have some final formalities that have to be attended to at every citizenship ceremony, and I'm pretty sure, I think you know what they are, and one of them involves your singing voices.
Thank you, Mayor Bennett. So just a few more minutes and then we can we'll celebrate and take some photos up front here. But I'd just like to reiterate that becoming an Australian citizen brings with it both privileges and responsibilities. So one of the most important is the right to vote, so a cornerstone of our democracy. So inside your envelopes, you'll find information from the Australian Electoral Commission to enrol to vote. This ensures that you can have your say in federal, state and local government elections. And voting is a powerful way to contribute to your community and the future of our state and nation. So once again, congratulations to our newest citizens. Thank you. So thank you for sharing this unforgettable moment with us. Please enjoy the rest of your evening and feel free to take photos with your family and friends. The area in front of the flags at the back of the room is set up for photographs with the presiding member, and we encourage you to make use of it. For those seated in front of the flag area, we'll be moving the chairs back, so please just accommodate that. So now to officially close tonight's ceremony, let us all stand together and
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soil and wealth untold, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing and praise Australia fair. Beneath the radiant sun, the cross will turn with hearts and hands to make this Commonwealth the last renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas, we've boundless plains to share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing and advance Australia fair.
please enjoy it.
Thank you. Everyone, please feel free to have some more of this supper, please. As I said, I cooked all afternoon.